How will you advise your younger self if you were to restart your DevOps journey, or advise an enthusiast willing to transition into DevOps space? And what's your take on taking this ever-demanding cloud certification, Azure to be precise? Now, that's another question I got on Code Cloud and DevOps asking me anything, and it's something you would want to ask someone that has been in the industry for quite some time now. Been in the industry now for almost a decade, specifically actually in the DevOps field for almost a decade. And it's a good question to ask simply because you want to know if I would do things differently than I did if I was to start my DevOps career all over again. So, as I said in some of my previous videos, my story on how I got started in DevOps, I think if I was to go back in time to learn DevOps all over again, to pick the field in this DevOps space, I think three things will be most important to me. And I think first of them would be to find a defined pathway to learn. Yes, I finally got there. I finally got to this space where I could be confident of my DevOps skill, but then my learning was all over the place. I learned cloud, I learned how to deploy, I learned networking probably 4 years in and all those kind of stuff. But then, if I could go back in time, I would find a defined pathway to learn DevOps. I would literally go ahead and research and see the things I need to learn. But then also, I would not want that to determine, because learning and being an expert in this field is not just about, going through the pathways, getting certified and all that. It's about knowing what you're doing also. It's about being able to practicalize what you have learned. So, I'll say as an addition to the first point, which is get a defined pathway, practice what you learn. Practice those steps, practice those tutorials, those videos you watch, those books you read. Practice and ensure that you are confident of what you've learned before you move on to the next phase. So that when you get to the field, when you get to start working on projects, even if there are problems, there's a principle to be applied here. There's a step to be applied, there's a process to doing things that you need to apply to get problems solved. And the truth of the matter is, problems not go finish. Problems never finish in the DevOps space. There are new challenges every day. The cloud is ever changing. Technology is ever changing. So there'll be new challenges, new things for you to learn every single day. So the fun is just getting started even when you're 20 years in the field. So get a defined pathway, practice what you learn. And the third point, which I would say, which I think has helped me, is never ever stop learning. That you know something now does not mean it will be relevant in the next 2, 3, 4 years. That you think you know what you're doing now does not mean it is the best way of doing it. So learn new ways of doing things, learn industry standard, learn evolving ways of doing things, and then conform to that way. If you don't do that, you'll get outdated really fast. So, continuous learning, get a defined pathway, practice what you learn. And I think as a bonus point is also be a member of a community. That is something that helped me. So if I will go back in time and advise my younger self, I'll probably still stick to everything I've done, except that I'll find a defined pathway, because those are things that I think helped me in my journey to get where I am today. And to the other question, which is to ask what my take is on cloud certifications. As I've mentioned in some of my previous videos, certifications are great. Certifications are awesome. They are amazing. But then, certification should not be the end goal of your career, of whatever you're doing. Certifications are a way, gives you that extra edge over someone who doesn't have it. Don't get me wrong about that. So I'm a big advocate of certifications. But then I think what you need to focus more on is knowing what you are being certified on. I'll say this for a fact, and it's probably an unpopular opinion, is that you can cram and go write the certification exam and pass. It's a simple truth. But then, what would set you apart, even if you're all certified, you got the jobs, is the fact that you know what you're doing. I've seen a lot of people who are certified, have many certifications, and they don't know what they are saying. I've seen this, and I've seen people who are not certified and they really know their onions. So Get certified if you can. If you want to get certified, I'm a big advocate of that. It gives you the extra edge. But then, don't let the certifications cloud your learning. Continuously learn. If you go get certified in whatever you're doing, your learning is what will reflect in the certification. I know there have been exams I wrote, there are certification exams I wrote where I literally did not prepare, but it was my learning that helped me actually pass those exams. I'll give you an example, and I'm gonna be really practical here with you. The first time I wrote the AZ 400 exam, well, the only time I wrote the original exam, because we just renew it every year now, I can tell you for a fact that I did not study for that exam. I can tell you that for a fact. I did not study, although I will advise you today to study. But the reason I passed that exam, and on the first try, was because I have been doing Azure DevOps. I've been doing DevOps for many, many years before I tried to write the exam. So I knew what was going to come out. I've been, teaching people about it, talking about it in communities, learning and relearning stuff about Azure DevOps. So when I went to write the exam, it was more like a piece of cake because I have put myself to learning. And today, one of the things I could teach, one of the courses I can teach without faltering, without actually having a manual, without actually having a teaching guide or whatsoever, is Azure DevOps, because it's something I've put all my learning into to understand the ins and outs of it. And that is what I want to advise you. Yeah, get certified if you want to. Get certified. I will say yes, get certified. It gives the extra edge. But then don't let it stop your learning. Don't let it hinder you actually putting yourself to be good at what you're doing. And that is where I'll wrap up the answer to that question. And I hope that really answered the question. If you have further questions, you know what to do. Use the link showing right now about your screen, or scan the QR code showing right about now, and I'll get to it pretty soon. Until I come your way yet again with another video, stay safe and goodbye.